Hello everyone, this is Seiko from Vinegar Town here, playing a game that was recommended to me by a good friend. It's on Newgrounds. They made it, him and a group of people made it in like a month, called Interstice, Interstice Academy, Love is Blind. I'm gonna try it out. It's like a dating visual novel, but it's not like your usual ones. So I'm gonna see what it's like. Uh, Welcome to the Interstice Academy. Enter your name, obviously Seiko, and click to enroll. Let me make sure everything's here. Okay, only play in gallery. Alright. Oh, that is very... Huh. About half a year ago, I graduated from high school. A lot of students look forward to their futures at that point, but I didn't exactly feel the same way. It's hard to look forward to something so unclear. After all, I had no idea what I wanted to do or who I wanted to be. Then, when I checked the mail from that fateful day, when I checked the mail on that fateful day, I saw it. An acceptance letter to Interstice Academy. More than just acceptance, a full ride, with room and board included. I couldn't for the life of me remember applying. But it was a hard offer to turn down, so why not? Interstice Academy, an interdimensional university that sits on the precipice of multiple planes of existence. At least that's what it says on the brochure. This university is home to a variety of species from across all kinds of dimensions. A fact that I only learned on the day I moved in. My first semester took some adjusting. As it turns out, many different species and creatures inhabit the class of 20XX. And of the many species here, only one is even recognizably human. Thankfully, Interstice Academy was founded on the belief that all cultures should be embraced by those who are part of them and shared with those who aren't. It's very inclusive. As a result, I was able to transition into this strange college life much more easily than I initially thought. Soon enough, I was going about my days pretty comfortably.
Bark, bark.
Okay. We're doing what? I have to have heard that wrong. It's called Valentine's Day, a quite enduring little affair back on Seiko's homeworld, where people give each other chocolates and confess their romantic feelings. As you know, part of the curriculum is making affordances for each and every one of your homeworld's traditions, and that includes Valentine's Day. Alright, I just gotta say just right now, the dog, just absolutely beautiful. I love it. I'm just gonna turn that down a little bit. There we go. Okay. That includes Valentine's Day. That's really good. And so, Interstice Academy will be celebrating. I can hardly keep my tail still. Look at it go. So what exactly does that mean for us, Principal Harkness? I'm so glad you asked. In order to receive class participation credit for these festivities, each of you must find your very own Valentine among the group. Formless mass of energy glows a vibrant shade of pink. A harmonious vibration spreads throughout the classroom, invoking a feeling of optimistic trepidation among the students. Seeing as this is a tradition from Seiko's homeworld, it's only fitting that we look to the local expert for guidance. Artistically rendered sphere sits expectantly in its desk, 2 seats away from you. You feel an overwhelming pressure to answer what you think is the most important thing about Valentine's Day. A good present. You explained that a good present is the most important part of Valentine's Day. Indeed, a good present is a fine way to tell someone how you truly feel about them. Oh my god! That's what humans call romantic, right? It sounds so warm. I can't explain it. A couple of your classmates keep their sighs, groans, and general complaints, while a good few others chatter amongst themselves, nervous about who they may pick them, and who they may pick. This one is most intrigued. Intrigue, yeah. Artistically rendered sphere remains stoic, adding no remarks to the conversation. I guess young adults are young adults, no matter which dimension they come from. Rebellious or insecure, they're only human. Well, you know what I mean. With class wrapped up for the day, you enter the hallway with an important decision to make. Only one of your classmates can be your Valentine. The question is which one. You consider your options. Okay. There's Junior, the dog, son of principal, okay. Molecular transmuter who looks like a janitor, but like he's all stitched up and has like shadow things in him. Shadow Spawn speaks for itself. Artistically rendered sphere is pretty good. Reminds me a lot of the Rolling Stones from JoJo. Formless massive energies, just a big old blob. I'm assuming it's going to change colors depending on its emotion. And then Anastasia, vampire med student. I have a weakness for medical stuff, so I'm going to go with Anastasia. It's pretty simple. Anastasia, the vampiric beauty whose fangs can ensnare the minds of many, yet whose hands yearn to heal wounds. Are you my Valentine? Yes. With your Valentine card in hand, you march down to the hallway and place it into the locker belonging to Anastasia, the vampire med student. Because of the overheard light above, you can't help but notice some of the surprisingly cute stuffed animal decorations inside. In any event, you decide to wait beside the locker of your Valentine to see their reaction to the card. Suddenly, you feel an eerie sense of dread, as though a pair of eyes with murderous intent has just laid its sights upon you. That aside, you recall seeing something out of the ordinary through the crack of Anastasia's locker. I'm gonna avoid the temptation. I'm not gonna do that. You feel that you should trust your instincts and wait rather than throw caution to the wind and snoop around, so you continue to act natural at Anastasia's locker. A few moments pass and you see Anastasia enter from the other side of the room. You continue to act as though you haven't done a thing. Anastasia, however, seems wary as she approaches you in her locker as though she knows you were up to something. You think that you should acknowledge her presence in some way. It could definitely help ease the tension you're both feeling. Average greeting. You casually give Anastasia a "How are you?" greeting. Fine, thank you. Have a nice... As Anastasia responds, she motions to open her locker, then grasps the card from the slot instead, remembering its incriminating contents. She inspects the pink envelope with Anastasia written on the front, then looks at you, clearly puzzled. Anastasia then removes the heart-shaped seal and opens the card. As she reads it, she gradually turns redder and redder. Signed, Seiko. This is for me? From you? You answered Anastasia with an affirmative smile and nod. The tense atmosphere that was once present seemed to have shifted as quickly as it appeared. What was once eerie dread is now a fuzzy feeling for both Anastasia and yourself. This is a feeling, however, that Anastasia does not seem accustomed to. In a sense, she seems somewhat unsure of how she should react. After a brief yet seemingly internal pause, Anastasia's blushing face gently smiles. So, a study meeting. I see. You feel the urge to clarify as Anastasia seems to misunderstand your intentions with the Valentine's Day card. You should speak up before... I'd like that, Seiko. I'll see you tonight. The card left instructions on where to meet up and at what time, so at this point there's nothing left to do but choose a gift. After some time trotting through the halls, you reach a large vending machine containing items from several dimensions and universes. You have exactly enough money to get one item from the machine. So, let's think about it like that. She's a med student. Obviously, the skateboard and that's not really gonna work. She's probably a vampire, so she can't eat chocolate. That's not gonna work. I don't know about that, nor about these two. I'm gonna see what this is. The hour of your date has arrived. You make your way to the roof of the school. The school's rooftop, a beautifully scenic location where all of time and space can be seen intermingling in harmony despite the chaos of multiversal existence. Atop the roof sits the Burgery, right? Bogery? Boggery. A beautiful garden nestled in the center of the roof. About an hour or so before sunset, you arrive at the rooftop, where your romantic date with Anastasia is set to take place. It seems, however, that your efforts to get ready quickly, you have arrived a tad early. Anastasia is nowhere to be seen. It's unlikely that she would stand you up, given your earlier encounter. She seemed interested in the date, even if she pointed out that you'd be studying. You decide to wait, concluding that no harm can come from doing so. After an hour, it becomes sunset. Another hour passes and you start to feel tired. Finally, you decide to rest your eyes. Oh geez, what should I do? Is that? Should I wake? Oh. You start to feel awake now, though you also feel something else. It's a familiar feeling, one you recall encountering a mere hours before now. You feel an urge to cover your neck, left wide open to any possible attack due to your dropping head. You suddenly completely come to your senses, opening your eyes. Anastasia standing over you, her mouth open, ready to bite. She quickly becomes flustered and is heavily blushing. I'm sorry. Oh no, please don't look at me. Silence fills the air. You don't know how you should react. It seems that Anastasia doesn't know either. Oh, that's so tempting. Although you are mere seconds away from becoming a human raisin, you assure Anastasia that you aren't upset with her. You're too kind. To be honest, I tend to study by myself, so coming to a study meeting had me quite nervous. I couldn't eat a thing before I fell asleep for the day. Which brings me to my tardiness. My kind isn't able to walk about freely during the day. You tell Anastasia that you only know the basics when it comes to vampires. That makes sense. Bram Stoker's Dracula novel was a good starting point, for you humans at least. After that, it all sort of got out of control. The movies, the video games, and who could forget those teen romance novels? I know many of them don't condemn our kind, but they could at least be less cheesy. Anastasia seems to have relaxed a little, as have you. You realize that you have never actually seen her smile like this before. It's a refreshing sight. At least, that's what my parents always say. You ask Anastasia what she means by that. My parents? Forgive my shock, but no one has ever asked me about them. It seems that Anastasia is pleasantly surprised by your interest in her background. My parents are very, well... Tell me, Seiko, are you proud to be human? You tell Anastasia that, well, you can't really decide on an answer. There is so much mistreatment and strife among you all, and yes, humanity always seems to find a way to prosper, but at what cost exactly? My goodness, I had no idea. I was certainly expecting a yes from you. Perhaps you and I are more alike than I thought. You see, there is much strife among my people as well, and yet my parents remain proud of our kind. As for myself, well, it's like I said, we are more alike than I thought. It is a strange feeling, is it not, to feel some sort of disdain not for who you are, but what you are. There's a brief silence, however, much like when Anastasia saw your card. It feels eternal. A thought crosses your mind and you seem to speak it without thinking. What does Anastasia want to be then? You would assume a doctor, yes. After all, I am a medical student. However, that is not all I study. Much of my free time goes into studying veterinary practices for the animals found on my homeworld. I'm certain you have noticed how tired I am during class. I know how unhealthy it is to overwork myself. And my parents, they don't mind what I do so long as my grades stay up. But one day I'll have to decide which path I must walk, and that frightens me. You understand Anastasia's plight and empathize with her. You recall Principal Harkness's earlier words and substitute them with your own. No matter the dimension, parents just don't understand. You make me laugh, Seiko. Thank you. Your comment seems to have lightened the mood once again. Perhaps now it is time to give Anastasia your gift. You have a gift for me? You take out the umbral locket out from your bag and present it to Anastasia. My goodness, Seiko. This locker, do you understand what it does? When you rotate the gem, the locket emits a strong shadow that surrounds the wearer, no matter the environment in which they may be. Therefore, if the wearer happens to be a vampire like me, they'd be able to walk about during the daytime. The sun rays are essentially blocked off. Yes! I picked the right gift! Let's go! I have no idea what that was, but it turned out good. Had I possessed such an object before now, I'd have been on time for our date. This seems to have been a perfect gift for Anastasia. Hold on. How did Anastasia just refer to this rendezvous between you two? You ask Anastasia what she just said. Why, I said it would have been on time for our date. You're positively stunned. Until this moment, you believe that Anastasia misinterpreted your Valentine. However, it seems that she completely understood from the beginning. Not only that, but she did in fact repeat what you asked of her. Quiet as it may have been, it proved something quite significant. It seems that Anastasia had conquered a bit of that shyness that she had let rule her life until now. It was a tiny bit, perhaps minuscule is a more appropriate word, but she spoke up about something that interests her. You. Understanding this, you tell Anastasia that she doesn't have to hide, and that she has achieved something great on this night. You are happy for her, and you make this known. Seiko, follow me. There's something that I want you to see. Slightly confused, you do as Anastasia says. Anastasia takes you to a familiar area, the hallway where you spoke earlier. She leads you to her locker. I appreciate your respect for my privacy earlier. I'm sure the temptation to look in my locker was quite strong. I normally show no one the inside, however. I feel that I can trust you, Seiko. Anastasia finishes entering the combination and opens her locker. You see that the array of plushies you saw that day was only the tip of the iceberg. Not only are there more than you initially thought, but they are each set up in their own proper spots, rather than haphazardly stuffed into the locker. You can tell that these plushies are more than just cute decorations or objects to Anastasia. They're her children, in a sense. And Anastasia is more than a collector, she is a caretaker. She's a caretaker for each and every one of them. Anastasia starts carefully taking them out to show you. You can't help but sport a gentle smile at the sight throughout the process. This one is based on the porcupine species from your homeworld, Seiko. I named them Spines. He's one of my favorite. You may recognize this one based on our very own Principal Harkness. They sell them at the school store. It may sound strange, but he is quite cute, isn't he? And this turtle is Sheldon. Although I sometimes call him Shellsy, he's quite shy and tends to hide in his shell when he's scared or embarrassed. I'm certain that sounds familiar, doesn't it, Seiko? Once again, a brief pause, although this time is different. There's no tension nor discomfort as there were during the previous instances. Anastasia looks at Sheldon, then at you, then back at Sheldon. Then she seems to ponder something. Finally, Anastasia holds out Sheldon to you. Here. You question Anastasia's action. Is she sure about this? You helped me understand something important about myself tonight. I can no longer be so afraid and unsure. The clouds that surround my confidence are parting. I need this umbral locket to walk alongside the sun rays. However, from this point forward, I needn't be afraid to walk in the light. And I have you to thank for that, Seiko, so please, take good care of Shelsey. How can you say no to such a sincere request? You reach out to take Sheldon when your hand accidentally touches Anastasia's open palm. You blush just as Anastasia does, however, a fuzzy feeling inside is not all that you encounter. You feel a warmth emanating from Anastasia's palms, undead as they may be. You get a feeling that you've never gotten before, and you understand somehow that this feeling is mutual. A new bond, an uncertain yet comfortable bond, is beginning to form, and it could lead just about anywhere. The sky is the limit, and maybe Anastasia's wings can take you both there. That's it? Yeah, it cuts off a little bit down at the bottom, but interesting. It's a very short game. I think I can maybe do like one more. If I can get that play button to work. Oh my god. Yep. I'm just gonna skip to when I make a choice. Okay, so we did Anastasia. Let's go artistically rendered sphere. Artistically rendered sphere, an ever-stoic living testament to the importance of value when illustrating. Are you my Valentine? With your Valentine card in hand, you march down to the hallway and place it into the locker belonging to the artistically rendered sphere. With that taken care of, you make your way down the hall to avoid any suspicion. The card left instructions on where to meet up and at what time, so at this point, there's nothing left to do but choose a gift. After some time trotting through the halls, you reach a large vending machine containing items from several dimensions and multiverses. You have exactly enough money to get one item from the vending machine. Oh, obviously it's going to be this for them to sit on. The hour of your date has arrived. You make your way to the roof of the school. The school's rooftop, a beautifully scenic location where all of time and space, yada yada. Artistically rendered sphere is sitting beneath the tree. As you approach, you offer a warm greeting. You offer a warm greeting to artistically rendered sphere. Artistically rendered sphere offers no reply, but you feel as though your words reach their mark. A cool interdimensional breeze blows through the air. You formally sit yourself at the date spot with the artistically rendered sphere. As you sit down, your perspective changes, offering a new angle from which you gaze upon artistically rendered spheres. The shadowy overcast of the great tree above reveals little bastions of light resting atop artistically rendered sphere that you could not perceive before. Patches of light and shadow dance atop artistically rendered sphere as the wind bellows through the branches of the tree. The already magnificent geometry of this dashing entity is only further accentuated by these beautiful elements of the area around you both. As a dash of light manages to reflect from your eye, you avert your gaze for a moment. As you look away, you notice something on the ground beside the artistically rendered sphere. A perfectly geometric package, similar in nature to artistically rendered sphere. In fact, there's only one piece of this perfect geometry that deviates from the package's design. Nestled on top of the package is a Valentine's card, similar to the one you placed in the locker. You decide to ask about the package. You ask artistically rendered sphere about the geometric package. Artistically rendered sphere continues to sit proudly beneath the shadows of the tree. The formal nature of your question almost makes you feel silly as artistically rendered sphere offers no reply. The shadows beneath artistically rendered sphere slowly fade away into nothingness as the light of the sky above you grows more dim. As this takes place, any feelings of silliness or hesitation on your part are quickly assuaged. You almost feel beckoned, if not subtly welcomed by your date, to take the package. The perfectly geometric package is now in your hands. The card on top of it says only one thing: Seiko. You open it carefully. You carefully open the package, taking great consideration of each perfectly made fold and crease. With painstaking effort, you manage to open the package without a single tear on the packaging. As you glance at artistically rendered sphere, you recognize a similar perfect geometry in the unfolded packaging on your date. You feel as though things are as they should be. After analyzing your gift, you realize you have reached a hammer and chisel set, replicate with a small slab of marble. Offer a simple thank you. You take the exquisite cushion out from your bag and present it to artistically rendered sphere. You hold the cushion before your date. Looking at the perfect curves of artistically rendered sphere, you feel as though you are answering destiny itself. This cushion was made for artistically rendered sphere. You can't hold back the urge any longer. You place the exquisite cushion beside artistically rendered sphere. Methodically, like a Japanese tea ceremony, you guide your hands along the smooth surface of artistically rendered sphere, applying just enough force to gently roll your Valentine onto the exquisite cushion. Before your eyes sit a sight of aesthetic perfection. A chill goes down your spine. You are in pure awe. You remain fixated to the figure of artistically rendered sphere sitting atop the exquisite cushion. You tremble. After enough time passes, you find your bearing once again. Shaking off the effect of your awe, you can feel a sort of elegant appreciation through the stoic silence of artistically rendered sphere. You and your date seem quite satisfied by your measure. You feel this was the perfect gift for your date. With the gift exchange now complete, you recognize things will be wrapping up shortly. You decide to make idle conversation. You decide to round out your date by making conversation with your Valentine. Various subjects come forth from your mind, from remarks about your classmates to memories of your life back home. With each passing moment, artistically rendered sphere sits unflinching in the face of your words. Though nothing is ever said in reply, you don't get the impression you're not being heard. Far from it, you find yourself feeling like you found yourself a great listener. As the minutes unfold, you lose track of time, only noticing exactly how much time has passed when you notice the shadows around your date have changed with the hour. It's very nice to have someone to talk to, someone who will always listen. You realize you have found a confidant in whom you can trust any secret. You talk and talk and talk, and you know artistically rendered spheres listens. As your comfort grows, you begin to feel you've nurtured something pleasant between the two of you. Perhaps this marks the beginning of something beautiful. Perhaps you two may even share an artistically rendered future as humans and sphere. Oh my god. Huh. Very interesting. This is a very nice game. Very well done. I think there's just some resolution in terms of the sizing issues, but I mean, the game was only made in a month, so I have to give it props where it's due. It might be because of the resolution, but the controls are kind of like out of whack, as you can tell. I enjoyed it, and I realized it a lot earlier, but I didn't want to say it because I was reading it. But I realized the name of the principal, Harkness, is based upon Jack Harkness from, I want to say he's from both Doctor Who and Torchwood. But yeah, no, I just find that it's a very interesting thing because the Harkness test and all that, and how most of your dating options are not humanoid. It's very good. I like it a lot. I might play the rest of it on my off time, but just thought I'd show some light onto this game, so that way others can tell. It's on Newgrounds. Check it out. The person and the team that made it was Stampy and all that. I'll link their YouTube channels below. It was just, I liked it. It was good. Anyway, this is Seiko from Vinegar Town signing off. You all have yourself a great day.